Hey guys, real quick market update. So interesting day. We thought it'd be very volatile, so no surprise there. We needed the SPY, or the general market, we could say, I guess, to get outside of this channel, the intermediate channel that we saw before, and stay above it. It was important that we didn't sit too long under that area. And you can look intraday if you're a TVIX trader. This is the intraday chart on SPY that I follow with my lines that I draw, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit and then back it out here so you guys can look at it really quick. So this line was important that we held. This is our energy line that we talk about, under, over. We started to bear flag. We pulled a little bit through there and bounced off this descending trend line and then back up and retested it, and that was it. That's all she wrote right there. And then you can see the breakdown. We thought we would go up and tag this upper line sometime during the day at 309.20. We came really close. We got to 309.08, and we talked about that on the Discord Twitch channel, that we thought we'd get up there, and somewhere along this line, around 309.20, 309.30, depending on the time frame, we would tag that. And when we didn't, and we started to pull back and then bounce and then fail along the trend line, we broke down through all of the descending trend lines. A little bit of energy there, but once that failed, more energy there. And then we actually got inside. We got inside the yellow zone that we talked about. And once it got in there, it wanted to rip back up. And then once again, if you zoom in, it's a really interesting day today. Once again, if you zoom in, you can see we kept back testing this descending trend line, right? Break there, back test, back test, back test. These lines create different pivots along the way. Then once we got up above there, you got to cover your short. If you're long TVIX, you got to get out. Whatever you're doing, you got to, because you've already extended into the yellow zone, right? You're already way down below 30 on the RSI. And then if you close in on the RSI, you can see 4 waves of heavy selling without really busting a hell of a lot lower than the prior low. So then you have this bullish hanging man candle reversal. You go back up and you break through. You should have been out of your TVIX by then, but I know these guys love to trade TVIX by every little, they think the market's going to collapse. I got to be honest with you, if you had bought it up close to 309, I was waiting for it to get all the way to my trend line because I tried to be a perfectionist. But if you had bought 100 there, and if we convert that over in the inverse to TVIX, man, you would have caught this 157 and rotored up 80 points. And if I was smart, I could have grabbed 100 and made 8 grand. But I was being a perfectionist. So here's your channel lines. Impressive that we got above yesterday's aftermarket high. We got well above yesterday's internal high. But we always say sell on strength, and you got to be happy with the strength you got if you're a TVIX player. And I guess guys don't understand that this is a little bit different than a stock. You buy extreme weakness and you sell extreme strength. It's kind of a little bit different than what you do in a stock. So here you can see the channels on TVIX that had to hold. And they did. For a while you had this lower channel holding right here. I know there's a lot of lines here, but you can see this lower channel holding right here. And you actually needed to hold this one. And that's the one we failed at. And now you're kind of waffling around. A little bit of a bullish candle there. So maybe you get a bounce off the 193 up to 198. I mean, you got to be quick to trade this thing. And the spreads are wide. These are 40, 50 cent spreads on average, at least. Sometimes they're 80, 90 cents. So if you're buying and selling market, just to get in, you have to be a really quick trader to trade this. But it's trying to pull in a little bit of a support level here, right along 194, which would coincide with SPY, because everybody thinks SPY is going to collapse and go down to the whatever. But that's a pretty nice rebound on SPY, now breaking back above the descending level. So if you're going to do a TVIX trade, maybe somewhere along this line again for a reversal. But you're in the gap here, so it looks like it's trying to push higher, surprisingly, but it's on some horizontal resistance right here. If it breaks through there, and we can watch it in real time here. If it breaks through there, it's definitely going to tag that trend line right there, and that'll nail I just sold a little bit of that RNA. That IPO has been doing good. About a couple hundred shares have been selling at 50 at a time. So now you're putting in a bullish candle here. You're going to push through, and that should whack TVIX down to like 185. We're at 190 now. We'll see. It's got to close above. These are 1 minute candles. So anyway, the market's neutral here. On the 1 year, tough to say here, guys. It's tough to say here. Surprisingly, we're this strong today. We need to hold above 305.15 on a close. That's all I can tell you. You don't want to see this below 305.15. I mean, you could close below you could close as long as you get above 302.90, but preferably above 305.15. So keep those numbers in mind. Do I expect us to go all the way back up and back test the channel line on the top? The momentum channel line? Probably not. Maybe next week. That would be a good short setup. But to buy and hold a short in here, it's a tough call. It is a tough call. Because we're kind of trading between these little wedges right here. Doesn't want to stay in this little window there. You know? If you look at it on a 20-minute time frame over 3 days, you can kind of see. I don't know why I got the alarm there, but you can kind of see a little bit of a double bottom, not even. Your low there was 300, and your low here is 300.46. So technically, a little bit of a double bottom short term, and they're rejecting it. But if you start to roll back over, you don't want to go triple test the double bottom like that. You'll probably fail, and then we're looking at our 296. But pretty wild action today in SPY. We'll see how it plays out.